So, but Squeeze reformed. So when Jools decided to have his own band, Squeeze reformed, and then so Jools ended up losing Keith, the bass player,
right,
and he ended up losing Gilson Lavis, who was the Squeeze drummer as well, because they had to make a choice. Who do we go with? Do we go with this tried and tested iconic pop group, or do we go with Jools, who's just starting a solo career? They did that, which was, of course, not so good for them, it's very good for me. But the key thing was that Jools wanted a double bass player. He wasn't interested. If I'd have just been a bass guitarist, I wouldn't have got that gig. Because that is predominantly, and because Pino didn't play upright as far as I know. And Jools also knew that people had told him I could read and I could improvise, all this kind of stuff. But the key thing was the acoustic bass. So the sax player said to me, look, do you want to come for an audition at the Jools' studio in South East London? And here's the other ironic thing. I'm the only person that auditioned for that gig. Everybody else got the gig with Jools by word of mouth, just recommendation. Nobody apart from me did an audition. And I think the reason for that is that Jools is very particular about bass players. And of course, if you've had Pino, you know, you've had the best there. You're going to be very fussy. So he couldn't risk someone saying, this guy's great. And it's, yeah, he's in. And then on the first gig, you know, and I can't play or there's something wrong. So yeah, I got called by Jools to go to his studio, very local to where I live in South London. It's in Greenwich, and there was Jools and the guitarist in our band. They're still the same guy. And there was I was there with my acoustic bass, and we sat there. Jools sat on the piano, and we played for about an hour, and he was just busking, just all sorts of sort of blues, R&B type stuff. And but here's the thing: I wasn't that fussed about the gig, because you have to bear in mind at that stage, which was 1991, Jools he wasn't who he is now. He didn't have the TV show, he didn't have the radio show. There was a handful of gigs on offer. It wasn't anything, but you know, I still knew him from being in Squeeze and from being on the Tube, the TV show with Paulie Yates. So, but I was quite nonchalant, and I think this helped me a great deal. So I played, and I was just really relaxed and casual. And at the end of it, Jools said, "That's fantastic, love your playing." He said, "But you know, we do have a number of other people to see," and that to me just sounded like a brush off. And I thought, that's cool. I'm happy doing my jazz gig. So I'm putting the bass away. He went outside with the guitar player. They must have had a quick chat, and he just came back and he went, "You know what? To hell with it. The gig's yours." You know, and then he gave me a carrier bag full of cassette tapes. That's cassette tapes, folks. I don't know if you remember those. And they were just some live gigs and some demos that he'd done. And he just said, you know, go away and learn as much of this as you can. So that was the other good thing as well. So no music at all. And I just thought, this is exactly what I'm looking for. You know, I want more stuff to develop my, you know. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, so I got the gig right on there on the spot. But I do think it was that slightly casual, nonchalant attitude that probably, because if I'd have been, you know, really excited and sort of, you know, if you'd have got the Jools gig now, for instance, it would be quite a life-changing thing because of the amount of work that you would get, the people you would be called upon to play. Your CV would go crazy. So you'd probably be more nervous. You'd probably sort of, I don't know, you wouldn't be as relaxed. But back then, because none of that was on offer, I was like, and I think that worked in my favor with Jools. He appreciated that chilled out approach.